In this video, I'm going to show you how Tyrion Lannister uses the 48 Laws of Power to stay alive and play the Game of Thrones. Stay tuned. Y'all, Feliciano Kenobi here with Pop Lore, and welcome to the Game of Power series, where I talk about the 48 Laws of Power and how the Game of Thrones characters use or misuse these powers to play the Game of Thrones. And today, I want to talk about Tyrion Lannister. At the end of this video, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Will Tyrion win the Game of Thrones? Let me know below. To give you an overview of which laws we'll be covering today, here is a quick list. Law number 11, learn to keep people dependent on you. Law number 19, know who you're dealing with. And for the final law, law number 24, play the perfect courtier. So let's get started with our first law. Law number 11, learn to keep people dependent on you. I wanted to start out with this first law because Tyrion understands how to do this very well. He's used this law to get himself out of a lot of life or death situations, like that one time when he got captured by the tribesmen in the Vale in the first book, or the one time he and Ser Jorah Mormont were captured by slavers in Westeros. He has a knack for crossing paths with the wrong people at the wrong time, but he also has a knack for getting himself out of those situations. So how does he do it? He does it by making himself useful to his would-be murderers / captors. Take, for example, the first time he met Daenerys Targaryen in season 7 of the HBO show. The first time he met her, he was dressed in tatters and bound up like the prisoner that he was. He was on Dany's home turf, and so he had to play by Dany's rules. She wanted to know why she should give him, this kinslayer, the time of day, and so he used his excellent communication skills to show and prove to her why his counsel would be so important and of value to her. Compared to other characters, take for example Viserys Targaryen, Tyrion understands he is not in a position of power in this particular situation. And so he has to appeal to that power using his words and his intellect. Does this by impressing upon her that even though she might have armies and dragons, that doesn't mean she'll be able to truly rule the people of Westeros. She's trying to conquer a land she knows nothing about. Stepping into an arena that plays by different rules, and with Tyrion's experience, he can guide her around pitfalls that she will likely experience in the process. This is how he becomes valuable to her. She understands that there are many things about Westeros that she doesn't know, and so she can see the value in his counsel. But he does prove it to her in just a few moments with his knowledge and insight, because honestly, at this point in the story, this is exactly what she's looking for. So she agrees to bring him into her court. This isn't the only law, though, that he uses in this particular interaction to help him get a job with Daenerys. He also uses the next law that we'll be talking about, which is law number 19, know who you're dealing with. We've spoken about this law before with Viserys, and Tyrion handles this law completely opposite than how he does. Contrary to Viserys, Tyrion recognizes that he is at the mercy of Dany. He is not in any position to make demands, even if he is a nobleman from one of the most influential families in Westeros. He knows exactly the situation that he is in, and so he adapts to it in order to stay alive. Tyrion doesn't allow his pride to get in the way of appealing to Daenerys in a way that she expects to connect with him, something Viserys wasn't able to do at all. What also helps him appeal to Daenerys and other powerful figures is his use of our last and final law that I'll be going over today, law number 24, play the perfect courtier. Tyrion at this point of the story and at this point of his life has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, and asserts power over others in a very graceful manner. What's really valuable for Daenerys that Tyrion does is not only is he a perfect courtier, but he's also an honest one. Being a courtier doesn't mean just telling people what they want to hear. He tells her the full truth in a way that is understandable and also relevant to her, along with doing so in a very graceful and respectful manner. He doesn't just flatter to deceive, he says things because he believes they are true. And that's all that you should expect from him. Dany is smart, and she recognizes his counsel comes from good intentions. Though she may not want to hear it, she sees the truth in what he's saying. So, to recap, Tyrion uses these laws of power to play the Game of Thrones. Law number 11, learn to keep people dependent on you. Law number 19, know who you're dealing with. And law number 24, play the perfect courtier. This is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you think. Will Tyrion win the Game of Thrones? If you don't think he will win, then who do you think will win and why? Let's get a discussion going below. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much and have a great day.